Hi, everyone, and welcome to the season finale of Manic Pixie Dream Ghouls. I'm Sarah Cooper, joined by the wonderful
Kenzie Gleason.
Kenzie Gleason.
We're hyper.
And we are really excited about today's episode because this topic is actually the reason that we started texting.
Yeah, literally.
So it's like a big deal.
The
kind of a big deal.
Catalyst of our friendship.
But first, I want to show off my new baby.
Show me the baby.
So cute.
Oh, yeah, that thing is
so
cute. Oh my god. What is it made out of?
It's like he's just clay. This girl makes these little... Oh, his wing keeps falling off. He got in an accident.
Rest in peace.
Anyways, he's so cute, but his wing doesn't want to stay on. I'm going to have to glue it back, but he's just like... Yeah. He's so cute.
I love him. I don't have anything new to show off. I got these new eyelashes.
I have something I'm sending you to show off.
Couple things.
I'll show you. Well, you already know about these, but I'll put them up here. Like we've got our Hot Ghoul Summer Baphomet shorts.
I'm so excited for those.
So cute.
I'm gonna wear the fuck out of them.
Got the ones I made today. Coleman University with the little like seal that I made.
It's so cute.
I'm so excited. Lauren Coleman's gonna be like,
I'm gonna wear them to work at the museum, and he's gonna go, "You can't wear those. That's against dress code." He's not even gonna care how cool they are.
Why do they have a dress code?
Because it's like a museum.
We'll discuss the dress code later.
Okay.
There's no dress code at my museum.
Oh, I'm
you
gonna
can
show
have your
up in a
titties
bikini.
out and everything. I give no shits.
I know.
It'll be fine.
I'm gonna wear a clown.
So today, no, clowns. I'm not scared of clowns. I'm scared of grays.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm dress like a gray. Okay.
I would never.
Clowns or whatever. Fuck off. Okay. We're talking about a couple of things. First, missing 411.
Yep.
Which is so scary.
Woo, woo.
And then conspiracy theories.
Yes.
And we're gonna try. I'm hoping that we've both made a conscious effort not to do the really, like gross anti-Semitic theories that like there's some conspiracy theories that take a while to get to the anti-Semitism. And then I'm like, God damn it. I've invested so much time and then you just blame it all.
There's a lot of anti-Semitism and conspiracy. I really don't know what the issue is with that. I don't know who started that? Who started doing that?
Awful people who I just can't. So I don't think that mine goes too far into that. I really tried to make sure.
Either. I feel like mine doesn't, but I could be surprised. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
I've been surprised before.
Yeah.
So do you want to go first with missing 411?
Yeah. Do you want me to share my favorite conspiracy theory regarding the missing 411?
Oh my God, mine's regarding that too. Okay, good. It worked out. Yes, I do.
Always on the same page forever and ever.
Always.
So I feel like first we should go over what missing 411 is for people who don't know. Because I know it's something that you and I talk about constantly on our live streams and everything, but some people just might not know what the hell we're talking about.
That's very true.
So missing 411 is basically the name that was given to this phenomena of people going missing in national parks and heavily wooded areas. And there's this retired cop. His name's David Paulides. He wrote a whole series about it. I think he might be putting out another one. I don't know if that's true.
I hope so.
Came up with that off the top of my head. So we'll find out, I guess.
So.
But he's got 7 or 8 novels about just cases of people going missing and vanishing in, plain sight in the woods. And none of it is ever, there's no collected list of people who go missing. It's the government is just something's going on. We don't know. We take no responsibility, and
They don't give a single shit.
no, they don't.
So there's weird commonalities with a lot of the cases. I think it's there's always like berries found around the sites.
Yeah.
They're near
It's always
boulders and granite. The people are usually wearing bright clothes.
Yes.
They're usually with a dog and with a group of people. It's rarely someone that's just by themselves, which makes
Yeah.
it so scary to me. And then there's the big map that shows that they're all along that like cave system on the
Yes.
East Coast. I'm trying to think of, oh, and there's storms. There's always bad weather right after they go missing, which
Yeah.
like causes problems with the search
Not, it's
effort.
not like all this stuff isn't like it has to happen or it doesn't count, but it's
No.
all like it's very frequent. It's frequently reported in these weird
And
cases.
he had like a lot of things that had to be like a certain factor in order to count as a missing 411 case. So like anyone who had a history of mental illness, hi Keith. Anyone who has a history of mental illness or something where it could have been suicide, or like if there was any suspicion of crime, like they didn't make the cut for like the very specific cases that he chooses to research. So it's not just like every person that
Molly.
goes missing. It's like a very Molly, bro,
Molly, come on.
demon cat. She's just lounging.
She's cleaning herself. Read the
That's
room,
fine,
Molly. She's being gross. Yeah, and then also
So
like
gross.
I feel like a lot of it too is like there's different categories. I feel, especially with when you get more into like the documentaries that were made about it, like the more visual representation of it. It's like categorized by like some of them are children, some of them are like experienced hikers, experienced at like camping people, woodsmen, and shit like that.
Yeah,
that
I
like,
think that's
have
what it's
no
called.
business going missing.
Yes. It's like a lot of like, it's like, so like Danner from Conjure Dust, he works at REI and he's like a professional camper.
That's
So
scary.
like if he went missing, it would be scary because it's like he knows what he's doing. So it's
Yeah.
people like that. Danner, don't go missing.
Yeah, please don't. We
Don't
want
do it.
that.
Because I love you, but I'm not gonna go look.
I bet you the Tesla
sorry.
would bring us to him.
I bet it would too.
Bring us right to him.
The stairs in the woods. The staircases in the
stairs!
woods. There's a lot of
I
those
love the
too.
stairs.
I love the stairs so much. It scares me so
love the
bad.
stairs. I love them.
Me too.
I get so hyped about them,
Terrifies
and my
me.
everyone in my life is like, "That's fucking scary." Like, I don't want anything to do with that. And I'm like, "Let's go look at them, though. Like, don't
Let's
touch
go
them.
look at them.
Like, let's go
Don't
look at
touch
them."
it. I want a
Touchy.
tattoo of like stairs in the woods, like with like a forest around it, really bad.
Do you want to do that? Do you want to get a matching tattoo?
Yes, I do.
Incredible.
It would be so cute. I love it.
Basically, like any sort of weird phenomena in the woods, I'm like here for, even though I'm scared of the woods, because I just like think it just like fuels my fear of the woods, and I feel like it's like a pretty healthy fear, but also I'm like, it's such a spooky place that every time I go into the woods, I'm like, weird things are afoot.
Yeah, it's like I kind of enjoy the thought of like that there's something mysterious, even if I'm very scared of it.
Yeah,
It works.
it makes it feel justified for me to be afraid to go in the woods.
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm not just being a
There's
weenie.
fucking stairs.
I'm actually this
No,
is
never.
justified. So, my favorite conspiracy theory about missing 411, and this is definitely one of the crazier ones. I'm interested to see what yours is because I don't know that many.
I wonder if it's the same one. So
Honestly,
excited.
there's a good chance because we do that all the time. But mine is the conspiracy theory that it's so much. So basically, that the government has been hollowing out mountains to be alien cave bases, and that aliens are abducting these people that are going missing in the woods to be either like test subjects or workers in these hollowed out like cave bases that the aliens are running, and like the people that come back and that are found
100%.
alive are just like weren't right for the work or weren't right for the test or whatever, so they give them back. But the ones that are found dead, like that actually get discovered, like their remains are discovered, are just like they, depending on where, like, because there's like some people that come back and they're like found places that were already searched, But like
Yes.
people who just like they find their body right away and it's like seemingly like a normal place for them to have died, like
Well,
just like didn't survive, and then like the other people who are found in like different places, like where it's already been searched or something, died in like the workforce, like they got like worked to death.
So that is not mine. I love that. And it reminds me of like, you know, like the El Dulce military base, so like really like underground one with all the aliens. I'm like, that makes, I had no problem believing that story.
Right?
Of course.
It makes sense to me. And that's how I feel about this one too. I'm just like, yeah, that checks out. For some reason that really clicks in my brain and I'm like, yeah, that's probably true.
And like the number of cases where they like, I think there was one with this missing girl and Pilates did like a Freedom of Information Act and they refused to give him the case and like we're kind of dicks about it. Like there's a lot of that where they're just like, we're not gonna tell you. And it's like
okay, well fuck you, I guess.
You're definitely doing that's some really weird shit. Fucking weird. Yeah, if it's not a criminal case then you're supposed to release it. So
yeah, so you guys are obviously just being fucking shady. And so, also just like the US government's involvement in anything like sketchy like that, I'm like it's immediate. The second somebody is like, oh yeah, the government's involved, I'm like, immediately I believe you. Of course. Immediately I am inclined to believe you because the US government does nothing but shady shit. So why wouldn't I?
Aliens have been experimenting on us and making deals with the government since Eisenhower met with them. And like he met with like more peaceful aliens who, this is a fact by the way, just so everyone knows. I've been to DC and I'm pretty sure this is true. So he met with like the tall Nordics and like some of the nicer ones and they were like, hey, just stop with the nuclear weapons and we'll like help you with, you know, peace on earth and curing and da-da-da. And he was like, nah, hell no. Then the Greys
How can you turn that down?
Because he's a fuck. Then the Greys come and the Greys are like, you can keep your nuclear weapons. We don't care because we're evil. We just want to experiment on and abduct a certain number of humans every year. And you guys just like, don't look into it. Like, just let it go. And he was like, no problem. That's it. And now my Wi-Fi doesn't even work half the time. So was it worth it?
I think not. I think not. Also, I've never been abducted. I want to be abducted. Let's fucking go. I ain't got nothing going for me here on Earth. Bring me away.
Yes, you do.
Girl, I was kidding.
We have several events and conventions.
Okay, but I don't think anybody would be mad if I couldn't go because I got abducted by aliens. They'd be like, yeah, that's fair.
What if it's bad aliens? What if it's the Greys?
Honestly, I accept my fate, regardless of what it is.
I don't want them to put the P2.
I feel like the Greys would probably fuck with me. They'd probably really like me, I bet.
I don't think they like anybody. I don't think they have feelings.
I'm built different.
You are built different. I don't think it was gonna go very well.
Okay.
Like,
well,
I'm scared of them. And I want to just also preface all of this with, if we go to a national park, aliens, it's not worth it. I don't want to work and I'm not going to be any good at any of the things you want me to do. It's not going to happen for me. So you can either A, kill me immediately, or B, just leave me alone because it's not worth your time and effort. I know you have to fill out forms and paperwork for all the people you abduct, and I'm just telling you now, it's not worth it.
I feel like the aliens would probably take like one look at you and be like, not that one. They'd be able to like feel the energy coming off of you of like, no fucking thank you. And they'd be like,
it's not worth
that
it.
One. Yeah.
It's not worth the fight I'm going to put up.
Yeah.
I'm just letting them know right now because I will complain about everything.
Yeah.
Unless they have some bomb skincare that I am not able to get on Earth.
Is that worth it though? Would that be worth it? Is that like the ultimate thing, the ultimate sacrifice?
Just to visit. I'll go visit. Like if they need let's say the aliens can't start an IV, right? They just do not understand. And they're like, you can do this. We'll give you alien Botox. I'll do that. They get 1 day of work out of me, but I will get 2 breaks and I will be paid in alien Botox and no butt.
Set your terms right now. 2 breaks at least.
I'm just letting them know right now. 2 breaks at least.
For 1 day.
Fine. That's all I want. Yeah.
I don't know that I have any like special skills to offer them. You know what I mean? Like you have like emergency room skills. I work at a grocery store.
That's
Like
a lot of skills, though.
I could teach you how to put things in a bag if you'd like.
They probably, that would actually be very important. When would they ever learn how to do that? They would be like, they wouldn't know how to open it. They'd be like they would have a lot of problems. I think that would be more helpful than my skills, if we're being really truthful here.
I don't know.
Have magic
I
medicine
don't know
machines.
about that.
But these are cave aliens we're talking about. They might be kind of shitty. Like, I don't know.
Cave aliens. Do you think they'd be really, really smart, or like?
I think it's the dumb ones.
Because they're in the caves?
I think the really smart ones are under the water. The kind of like the middle ones are in the air, and I feel like the cave ones are like the frat dudes.
They're only in Chad.
Yeah. And like, I feel like they send them there, and they're like, the experiments aren't even actually for anything. They just need to keep them busy.
Yeah. They're basically just playing Operation.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not for me.
Yeah, I feel like the more we go into this like hypothetical alien situation, the less I want to be abducted. I take it back. Nobody take me.
Okay. No taking.
I don't want it. Not I.
Do you guys, if you want to visit us, like in our house?
No.
Why?
In my house? This is a safe space. You can't come in my home. Outside is fine.
I think the inside would be harder for them to abduct you.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm going to welcome them in. I feel like they're probably like vampires where they have to be invited in.
Yeah. Okay.
So there has to be some sort of like space manners.
And I'm pointing a gun at them the whole time.
Like...
Tell me what the secrets are. Like, that's what's gonna happen.
If you did like come face to face with an alien, what would you ask it? Like what's one question you would have for it?
Shit. I would be like, Travis Walton's lying, right? And they'd say,
that actually checks out. That definitely would be your one question.
Exactly. My number one thing is that he's a fucking liar. And they're like, you don't want to know like the meaning of life? I'm good.
I'd probably ask them how they fuck. I'd probably say, how do you fuck?
I assume they do like fish. Like one of them lays the egg and the other one sperms the egg. Like a beta fish in a tank. The eggs, and then they move. I don't think there's any penetration, if that's what you're asking.
That sucks, man. Maybe that's why they're so interested in us. They're like, you guys look like you're having fun down there.
When they impregnate a human, they put like a needle in your stomach to go like right to your eggs. Like they don't even fuck you. So I don't think they have like the ability.
What is the point? I will say with the exception of that one alien with the titties.
Oh God, what was her name? Crescent. Crescent. It's her name. Crescent.
With the exception of her, I've like never seen an alien portrayed with like any kind of genitalia. She had like titties and like a coochie, right?
Yeah, she had a bush.
So I have never seen anyone else portray aliens with any sort of genitalia. And I honestly, that's probably what I would ask is like, do you guys have dicks? Do you have coochies? Coochies.
What if it like comes out? Like a dog dick.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
That's fair.
It's fucking disgusting. God.
Did I ever tell you about the time that we like did an alien summoning ritual and we're like,
yeah, and they were fucking perverts.
They were really horny, but they did tell us that they have space cops. That was the thing we were told. Space cops.
Space cops.
We can't get away from them.
I think I'm gonna leave our space cops discussion for the Patreon because I'll end up getting canceled.
What is my cat doing? She doesn't usually join us for these.
Stretching.
She's literally just vibing back there.
I'm gonna go to my conspiracy theory.
All right, let's hear it.
We're talking about alien dicks for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Hold on.
True.
Where'd it go? Okay. There it is. Okay. Okay. So this is from a bunch of Reddit
Molly!
posts, and I usually print this out. Bro, Molly.
Just gonna keep turning my laptop. I'm so sorry.
I usually it's okay. I usually print things out, but it's on my computer. I mean, it's on my little computer. What is this? Phone. Okay. So this goes a little into my conspiracy that all this stuff in the national parks is due to the Fae.
Okay.
And I do think there's like a lot of like aliens and the Fae might be the same thing. So
if not the same thing, they're at least like they fuck with each other.
At least know each other, yes.
Yeah,
so there's this
friends.
poem by by W.B. Yeats called "The Stolen Child." Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a part where it's like, where dips the rocky highland of Sleuthwood in the lake, there lies a leafy island where flapping herons wake. The drowsy water rats, there we've hid our fairy vats, full of berries and of reddest stolen cherries. Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. Which is like berries, lake, because a lot of these happen near bodies of water. Okay.
Yeah.
This shit, he knew something. And
that's some changeling ass shit too.
Changeling ass shit. And he had beef with Aleister Crowley, mega beef, when they were in the Golden Dawn together, and he was fucking with Men in Black. We'll have a whole other episode where I yell about that. Okay. I get really upset. Okay, so I think they're something to do with the Fae. So there is this book called The Fairy Faith in Celtic Countries, and it was published in 1911. So this is like way before any national park shit. In one of the Missing 411 series, Paul says that the disappearances happen in mid to late evening. And I actually kind of related these all to my disappearance story, which did happen at like 4:30. So in the book, it says, generally fairies are to be seen after or about sunset and walk on the ground as we do. So fairies are also around at that time, and fairies are known for tricking and stealing people.
Yes.
Fairies are also known to hang around boulder and granite fields, just like
yes, I actually did know that. Yeah.
And they like to build their houses near piles of stones.
Yeah.
So the book says, a heap of stones in a field should not be disturbed, though needed for building, especially if they're part of an ancient, I don't know what this word is, tumulus. The fairies are said to live inside the pile. So like
it's like when you see the stacks of rocks too.
Yeah, yes.
The little rock
maybe
stacks.
Like those areas, like you go in there and that's like the fairies' neighborhood. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, they're like, who are you?
It's not even on purpose. You walked in there. And like maybe they're mad and they kill you, or maybe they're really nice and they offer you something to eat. And we all know what happens if you
then they steal your body and replace you with a fairy. And then you're stuck as a fairy for the rest of your life.
Forever. Okay, another one. Pallady says, and a lot of these searches have dogs that lose the scent, can't track people.
Yes, that's a huge thing, and I don't understand it. I don't understand
how.
It's so crazy.
It's like bloodhounds. It's like
literally
hardcore like crime sniffing dogs can't find it.
Yeah, so it's like I don't understand how you lose the scent of something if it walked there. It should be. It doesn't make sense to me.
And they can, because that's the other thing is the footprints just stop.
Yeah,
they don't trail off. They don't get.
No, they just literally stop. It's like something picked you up and just like threw you.
And then there's no footprint of the thing that picked you. Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
So, there's another part in this book about fairies that says, in the neighboring mountains there are long caverns which no man has dared to penetrate to the end, and even dogs, it is said, have been put in them never to emerge or else to come out miles away. So the dogs are getting lost because the fairies are doing that.
The fairies.
It's very. So then there's some fairy folklore that says they live beneath lakes or near water.
Oh, I like that.
Disappearances near water. There's another one, and this also relates to my case. Fairies are drawn to shiny and bright objects. All these people are wearing bright clothing, like almost all the disappearances.
True.
And then the storms that happen right after the disappearances, that the fairies can control the weather. So it's like a way to get the party, like search party, off of their backs.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, okay. So then a lot of fairy folklore also has that people will disappear for like
Yes.
extended periods of time and come back with no memory. And that happens in the few cases where they come back, especially children have no memory.
I was going to say children,
right?
especially. There was like a kid that went missing in like, he was probably like the 30s or 40s, and he was gone for like 3 days. And
then he was,
walked,
and nothing's wrong with him.
He literally was fine. He somehow
clean.
walked like 12 miles. He had no fucking idea like how. He was clean.
And they're like,
he literally just
clean,
appeared.
They're fed, they're not dehydrated. Like,
it's crazy.
Because you're the fucking food.
I don't understand.
I'm getting like very angry.
I know.
And then there's like the lost sense of time. Like the kids think they've been gone for a little while, but it's been a long time. That's very common in fairy lore. Like time passes differently.
Well, that's another thing that overlaps too with it, like alien encounters too. Going back to the alien conspiracy theory, is that missing time report is like you blink and it's been 3 hours, and like it's the same thing with like the tie-in with the fae too.
It's whatever's happening, whether it's aliens or fae or even, you know, cryptid and paranormal stuff with the missing time really freaks me out.
Yeah.
Like really bad.
I've never experienced it, but I want to.
I don't. I'll cry. I mean, so having like ADD, ADHD, I experience it every single day because my brain cannot conceptualize how much time has gone by. So I don't know if I'd even notice if it happened to me. Like,
I wonder sometimes if that's why I haven't experienced it. Like maybe I have and I just haven't noticed because I'm neurodivergent. My brain doesn't like function the right way.
Yeah, like we just don't. I'm like, I have no idea how long a task takes or how long I've been doing something, and I never have. So aliens probably have been fucking with me forever, and I'm like,
that's a fair point.
I don't know. It's fine.
That's why we haven't been like consciously abducted yet, is because they're like, it's easier this way.
Okay, my final thing from this book is the author claims that Yosemite is an area filled with beings similar to fairies. So a quote from the book. I mean, we've been new.
Yeah.
We've been new. I have been told by a friend in California who is a student of psychical sciences that there exist in certain parts of that state, notably in the Yosemite Valley, as the red men seem to have known, according to their traditions, invisible races exactly comparable to the gentry, which is the fairy.
Interesting. I like invisible races as a thing.
Yeah, like the Hilderfolk in Icelandic culture. They're like invisible fairies.
It ties into a little bit, only a little bit, with like the paranormal aspect, because there's like a lot of discourse in the paranormal community about like human ghosts versus non-human ghosts and the way that they both interact.
Yes.
So,
and then like, not to get too off topic, but I really get annoyed with the discourse about there's no such thing as a child ghost. Any child spirit that comes to you is a demon.
The demon. Okay, Zach Baggins, calm down.
Yeah, like that's so. You know the term chuggy?
Yes.
Like
the TikTok term.
Zach Baggins is the fucking epitome of chuggy.
Yeah.
He's paranormal chuggy.
Do you think maybe like one day like a Gen Z kid was watching Ghost Adventures and like just like tried to say something and like made up a word and they were like, that's what you are, you fucking
that's
asshole.
That's what it is, you fucking chug. God. So, okay. So that's kind of, I'm also going to say, I don't love that he said red men. I don't love that.
Yeah,
it was not very cool.
No.
Not nice.
Great. Not great.
1911 was not known for being a very tolerant time. No. Obviously he meant indigenous people.
Yes.
But anyway, like he's just trying to say, I guess, about like their folklore also having, and that's a well-known thing with pukwudgies and all kinds of different creatures.
Yeah.
So I think that we're both touching on the same idea that whatever's happening is something to do with interdimensional
or extraterrestrial
beings of some kind, or extraterrestrial. Yes. Because even, so like maybe the cave systems are like a portal rather than a physical like
I think about that all the time. I like constantly think about caves as portals. And also the woods to me, just like there are some places in the woods, like especially in New Hampshire, where like everything looks the same, but there's like very noticeable, like when something is different, it's like very noticeably different. where I'm just like, that looks like a fucking portal. Like, if I step through there, I'm gonna be in like, I don't know, like ancient
Like I'll never
Ireland.
come back.
I'm gonna be like roaming
And I
around
think the
with like, there's gonna be a
stairs-
banshee next to me, and like the fae are gonna be, I'm gonna be in a little circle with them, like vibing, like.
I love
never
a
come back.
banshee.
Me too.
I fucking love a banshee. If we don't come back as like the tree and Lady of the Lake spirits, banshee is my next choice.
When I was a child, I was like,
people.
all I want to do is fucking be a banshee. Like, I was like obsessed with banshees when I was a kid, and I was like, that's all I fucking want, man. I just want to fly around and scream.
Just scream at people.
Yeah, and be an omen of death.
Fun.
Like, that sounds great to me.
And nobody can get mad at you.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at the banshee.
No,
because she's just telling you.
Well, and
she's
also not for nothing, like, she screams and then she leaves. So it's like, well, who are you gonna yell at? Yep. She's gone. You can't complain to her. She don't care.
Bet, like, I wish a motherfucker would. I wish you would try to yell at a banshee and see what happens.
You should probably yell back.
Your shit.
She'd yell. That's like instant
I'd be very
death.
scared.
She's like, 100%. You know what? Actually, I came here to warn you that you might die soon, and now I'm gonna fucking kill you.
God,
screw you.
God, I love banshees. We should do an episode on the history of banshees, because I don't actually know like what the original like source is. Like, I know it's an Irish thing, but like where did that come from?
I feel like we should just do a whole episode on like Irish folklore, because I am super mega Irish and I know a fuckload about Irish folklore.
I do. I went to the National or whatever Leprechaun Museum when we visited Ireland.
That sounds fucking sick.
And they tried to tell us like a kid-friendly version of the story about like the leprechauns turning this man's wife into a cow. And I know that he eats her. I know that he does. But he like saw like Jonas there, and he's like, and then he tricked him. And I was like, that's not what happened.
You're like, sir.
Tell us the truth. I know he ate her. Tell me.
Yeah, you're just full of shit. You know what other conspiracy theory I really like that has nothing to do with the missing 411? The one that birds aren't real and that they're all drones.
I absolutely love that.
It's funny.
Whenever that TikTok first came out, I laughed so hard. I watched it over and over. It was like, all of the birds died in 1987 due to Ronald Reagan killing them.
I've been following the Birds Aren't Real Instagram for like 5 years. And every single time they post anything, I just crack the fuck up. I'm like,
it's so funny.
I don't actually believe that, you know, like I'm not out here being like, that's a fucking drone. No birds are real, but it's fucking hilarious. And I can see why somebody would believe it. Some of them, maybe like pigeons, are not real.
First of all, I've never seen a baby pigeon, and I'm still freaked out about that. I've never seen a baby pigeon. I don't know if they're real. What'd you drink?
Corona Refresca.
Oh, honey.
It's a passion. Okay. I don't have any alcohol in my fridge right now, so I'm drinking what I got.
That's sad. My other favorite theory kind of ties into that, and part of why I think that they might not be real anymore is like that when they did the Large Hadron Collider, like CERN shit in 2012, we were like popped into an alternate timeline that we're not supposed to be in. And that's why there's all these Mandela effects. That's why the sun looks different. My number one
does look different. You know what? You're fucking right. It does look different.
The thing that makes me the most upset, and everyone laughs at me about this, dog shit used to be white. It used to turn white in the sun, and it doesn't anymore. I remember it being white when I was little.
I also remember it being, because I've had dogs my whole life.
God damn it, thank you. Me too. I remember dog shit when I was a kid. It turned white, and I used to look at it and think about it. It's not white anymore. I never see white dog shit. Okay, I'm so glad that you've noticed this, because I literally, anytime that I can trap my family in a car with me where they can't get away, this is the thing I choose to talk about. And they're just like, please stop. And I'm like, it's a road trip, baby. We're talking about dog shit for 2 hours. Like,
oh yeah, we got plenty of time.
It's dog shit time.
There's a lot of like talk about that, about how like in 2012, Sid just said what? I'll have to explain that later, I guess. There's like a lot of talk about how like in 2012, when the world was supposed to end and it just didn't fucking end, that instead we were just tossed into a different fucking parallel timeline, and we're just like in a different.
Okay, so this is like we're in the wrong timeline. The Monopoly Man doesn't have the monocle. Curious George doesn't have a tail.
I don't know if I ever remember him having a tail.
I remember him having a
But
tail.
I didn't like
because I remember him using mischief with. I don't like Curious George. The whole Curious George, Madeline, and Babar the elephant all make me deeply uncomfortable, and I don't know why.
Do you remember the TV show Chalk Zone?
No.
It's about a kid with a piece of magic chalk.
No.
And he could draw, and he would go into Chalk Zone, and everything was made of chalk.
That sounds awful.
Every once in a while, I like think about the TV shows that I watched when I was like a very small child, and just like think about, I'm like, was any of that real? Or did I fucking make all of that up? But I've confirmed.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I've made a lot of this shit up. Are you sure?
Yes, because I see TikToks about it all the time where other people are like, did I fucking make this up or was this real?
Was this like a
all
fever
the shit
dream?
Yeah, basically. I'm like, but it's the things that I remember too. Like, there was also a TV show about a girl who looked like a clown who played in a couch. It was called Comfy Couch.
I hate that.
Her name was Molly. That's my cat's name, in case you forgot.
So do you think we're in a different timeline?
Yeah.
I'm like 100% sure that like it's a I know we're in a simulation. I already know that. I accept that. But like the simulation went we're in the wrong one.
Do you ever think about like the game like glitched for a second and it like crashed and they just moved us to a different town?
Yep.
Like they're playing the Sims.
We're in like the shitty Sims village. Yeah.
Or they downloaded like some extra content, like another DLC, and it was just like a weird like time shift one.
Yeah, they're like, let's just make Trump president and like see what
shit's gonna hit the fan and it's gonna be crazy. They're like watching from their computer being like, ha ha ha.
You know, they are. And like,
do you think they're in a simulation too though?
Yeah, it all is. None of
like it's just a bunch of simulations like over and over forever. That's very stressful actually.
It's very stressful. I try to just kind of accept it and like be like, okay, like even if I'm in a simulation, the things that I'm experiencing are real to me, so that's all that really matters.
Yeah, so that's fine.
And like that way I don't have like a crisis because I have a lot of those. So when we left Texas and moved to Maryland in 2012, like right at the beginning, and actually I lied, I do have a lost time thing. Maybe because I was stressed, I genuinely can't remember the last like month that I was in Texas or the drive to Maryland at all. Like I cannot remember. You just
like woke up one day and you were in Maryland?
Like I remember being in the car and like driving up to the building we were moving into, but I can't remember like anything about the road trip. I have pictures of it, but I just like, I don't know. So I'm like, is that where the simulation glitched? And like, it was like, oh, let's like put it over there. Give it a reason.
Yeah.
It's very weird. It's fine. It's probably just because I was stressed out though.
Yeah.
Like not because, bro, I can't. And maybe the people that get taken by missing 411 are getting taken out of the simulation.
Or maybe they're going back to the original timeline.
Oh, fuck, man, in that case.
Yeah, because I feel like, obviously, like, if there are these multiple timelines and, like, multiple dimensions that we're all existing in, there has to be, like, different versions of us in all of the other timelines. Like, so there's, like, a version somewhere where, like, I'm a Republican, you know? And like, there's a version somewhere where like I'm a man named like Matt.
Oh,
yeah.
That's hard. Sorry, like, guys. Sorry, my name Matt. No offense.
Well, yeah.
Anyway. My worst guy name, like I hate most. I'm gonna say the guy's name Josh. It's the worst fucking name.
I have two.
The worst name. I don't like the Josh. I don't like the Zach either. Not just because of bad games. I don't fucking like him.
I don't like Andrews. Again. I tend to stay away from Andrews.
Always crazy. I like
Devins.
Too much. Ooh, yeah.
Also Devin. So I have to kindly ask that if your name is either of those, please do not pursue a relationship with me, or even a friendship. Please don't speak to me.
Go eat own ass.
But what I was saying is that you have to think that like if there's other versions of us and other timelines, that like if you were to take Like, so say I were to be taken out of this timeline and I cease to exist over here, you could put me in any of the other timelines and it wouldn't make a huge difference because the version of me that's in that timeline already is not the same as the one you just dropped in there. So it's two separate people.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't really like.
So would you be like a doppelganger?
I don't.
Like, would you go into your body in that timeline and take over?
I don't think so. I think you would end up being a separate being, because I don't. Especially because
like a doppelganger.
Kind of, but like, because all of the other yous would be so different than like this timeline's you, I don't think it would be like considered necessarily a doppelganger. You know what I mean? Like if I was dropped in the timeline where
unless
my name
you
was
want to
Matt,
be.
True. Yeah. But since I'm living in this timeline and I don't have like the memories and thoughts and like consciousness of like my other timelines, I would be like a different person, you know?
Oh, that's so scary.
I know, this just got very deep for like a Tuesday night.
Getting very scared. I'm very scared. Like
think about this. Oh, this is literally what goes around my brain
when I was younger. No, me too. Of like, what if I woke up in my same body, but like I was a totally different person? Like I made all these different choices, and like I didn't recognize the people around me, and then I had to go back to like the people I did know that from before and try to convince them. And like, how would I convince them? And like, I like will sit there and just like think about that, and that's like a thing where like I lose track of time because I'm thinking about that for so long that I'm like, oh, it's 3 a.m.
Yeah,
I've been like having a whole meltdown.
I think about that literally all the time because I'll like be doing my thing, you know, living my life, and I'll make like a really fucking stupid decision or something, and I'll be like, you know, like other timeline Kenzies would never. Or like something like that. I'm like, the other versions of me would never do this shit.
I think my intrusive thoughts sometimes are like another timeline split off, and it's like I did drive into traffic. Like I did like jump off that high cliff. Like
maybe
I think that happens sometimes, and that's what intrusive thoughts are. Is it's like this is where you like offed yourself in this life. Like
I think really about it in terms of like things like changelings sometimes too, because like I'm super Irish. I grew up like being really well immersed into Irish culture, just in general, because my dad was very important to him. So Irish folklore is something I think about like frequently, and changelings is something that are on my mind almost all the time.
Oh, all the fucking time.
Like all the
time.
And like
maybe
the
that's
idea,
what it is.
Yeah, the idea of like a different timeline version of yourself is like, at least in my brain, like very similar or like at least adjacent to I don't know, like the idea of a changeling is like, it's not necessarily like the same thing, because like in changelings it's like you're being replaced with a fae basically, but it's similar because then there's another you walking around out in the world. So it's like it's similar concepts. They're obviously not the same, but like similar enough that whenever I think about one, I think about the other.
I mean, yeah, it kind of goes together. I think like the whole idea is just a similar thing. It comes from a similar place. Like it's hard to put your finger on, but it's just like it just does. Like I don't know. Like I just make weird associations anyway, but that one is like I think that's a very legitimate. And like having a baby, like I'm always like, don't you fucking turn
like, don't do it.
I'll dangle scissors above you. Like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to dangle scissors above them and put them near a fire and like put iron under the bed. But like, so I know he's not a changeling because like I have this like really old blanket chest that has an iron lock on it, and he ripped it off and was playing with it, which was really scary because he shouldn't be able to do that. But I was like, you wouldn't be able to touch that if you were a changeling. We're all right.
True, yeah.
I would test it every day.
I'd be impressed if your child was a changeling, honestly, because your kid is, I don't know. It's just a maniac. Everything about him is like, you are a human boy. Like he farts so much. I'm like, you're a human boy.
So many noises.
There's no fucking way you're a fairy.
Yeah, no. He could never. A fairy could never.
Do you think fairies fart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's like a nice sound. I think it's like a ooh.
Ooh. I love that. That's very precious. Maybe we should change one of the fart sounds in your Tesla to ooh.
Ooh. love those fart sounds. I'm worried about like what I'm just right now. I'm popping my toes, so if there's a, that's what that is. It's not a fart.
Not
if
a
we're
fart.
looking for ghost farts. I have really like long, like look at them. They're
Sarah.
so gross. So I have to pop them a lot. They have a lot of joints. Like I pick stuff up with them. It's like they're really gross. It's gross. Nobody wants to see that. I have the grossest feet in the world.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
God bless it.
So
Okay.
I feel like we might want to get back to
So our
what we were
favorite
originally talking
Missing
about.
411 to the topic.
Okay, you go first.
Yeah.
You go first. Tell me your fave.
Fine. Okay. This is a very upsetting one. Like legit, it's so fucking upsetting. Okay. So mine is about, and I was very drawn to this one. Okay, so mine's about Dennis Martin. He's a 6-year-old boy who went missing on June 14th, 1969. And June 14th is my older son's birthday. So it really weirds me the fuck out. Like,
Yeah,
I was like drawn to this case. So they were so it was him, his dad, and his grandfather. And they had a Father's Day tradition. This was Father's Day 1969 to go hiking. So they were hiking on the Appalachian Trail and they went to Spence Field, which I thought like it's a fucking field. Like it's not a field.
That's a
it's called
field.
It's like a forest.
Oh. Okay,
and
that's
it's like
misleading.
very foggy, like it's very misleading. It's like, it's whatever. So they're there, they meet this other family that also has 2 boys with them, and the kids are all playing hide and seek, and they're doing like the cute thing that kids do where like they try to scare you, but you can fucking see them because they're not, they're kids, they're stupid. So Dennis is wearing a red shirt. So the other kids tell him to go hide behind a different bush because they don't want him to be spotted easily so they can scare the parents. And again, the parents are watching this whole thing. They're watching, they know what bush he went behind. They're literally watching him do it. The other kids jump out and Dennis doesn't jump out. And the dad's like, So they think he just got lost. They start looking for him. He's fucking gone. The dad runs 2 miles up the trail, looks all around. He's nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, the grandpa goes and gets the Forest Service people who come out and start searching. And they're searching, and then a horrible thunderstorm comes in. They get 2 inches of rain. The search party grows the next day. The Green Berets get called in.
Oh my God.
The FBI, crazy. Like it was, so to date, it's the biggest search party in a national park ever in history. Like it ended up being like a few hundred people or something. It was crazy.
I think especially because like they're literally standing right there when this kid disappeared right in front of them.
Yep.
So it's like, obviously you've got all these witnesses that are like,
sad.
He was literally right there, right in front of us, and like vanished somehow, literally in front of us.
It's so sad. So then they look for like 6 days or something. Dogs can't pick up a scent. They are like, what the fuck? The thing that weirds me out are 2 facts in this case. One is that a spot they had previously searched, they found footprints, a child's footprints, one wearing a shoe, one barefoot. So it was like the kid had 1 shoe that just disappeared.
Okay.
They never looked into the footprints. They said it was because it was not relevant, even though it.
What do you mean it's not relevant?
Looked there. How could anything be more relevant than that? They were like, nah. Just dismiss that entirely. Then 9 miles up in the forest, a family makes a report. They don't know about any of this. They made the report before the search party even started, that they hear this horrible gut-wrenching scream. And they see a fucking Sasquatch, a 7-foot-tall, hair-covered man, bipedal creature, carrying something over its shoulder that was bright red, the color of his shirt, which they had no way to have known. Oh my God. Now, the weird fucking thing about that is the Sasquatch got into a van, a white van that someone else was driving and took off.
What?
I don't know.
Okay, so that feels
like
maybe it was a person.
I don't know. They said it was a Sasquatch.
Well,
I don't know that Sasquatch couldn't go in a van.
And well, I believe that they could probably go in a van if they wanted to. I think it's more likely that it could have been like someone in a suit, like snatching children out of the woods.
there's two thoughts about that. That is either a feral person, which you and I have got into the Appalachia feral people shit.
Yeah, we have.
It's either a feral person, a moonshiner in the ghillie suit, or a Sasquatch who gets in a van. I don't know.
I think the Sasquatch in the van
all this,
is the
they also
least
say
likely.
that's so the police said this is not possible. It was too many miles away. Nobody could have gotten over there that quickly, and they don't investigate any further. They look into the family that they were playing with. They look into Dennis Martin's family. No leads, no reason to think they're whatever. He's been missing for like 51, 52 years now. Never been found, like no trace. And they have never opened the case back up. And I think that one is my favorite because it's so fucking scary. And it involves like some weird paranormal shit. It's horrifying.
I just want to say, for the record, if I ever fucking go missing anywhere, like state park, national park, whatever, if I go missing at all, don't call the fucking cops. Just don't. They're gonna search for 20 minutes and then they're gonna go, we don't know. Sorry. Instead, what I would like you to do is find a true crime podcast that is run by women.
Yes.
And I need you to put them on the case and give them all the facts, because they will find me. They will find me within 72 hours, and I'll be safe and alive.
They will. I think the cops, if either one of us go missing, will be like, look at no, she's been on antidepressants. She's colored her hair unnatural colors, and she has tattoos. She obviously wanted this to happen, or she killed herself, and it's fine. Like, they wouldn't give a fuck. We're like not people to them, so I'd rather them not be involved. I'll call this space cops. Space cops are fine.
I don't know that that's true.
I like to think the space cops are all sexy lady aliens with boobies.
Ooh, that's fun. That's a fun theory. I like that.
Like very like 70s sexy lady aliens that they will solve it.
Based on that weird interaction I had when we were trying to summon aliens, where we got this tip about there being space cops, I'm going to say that's probably not the case, which is unfortunate.
That is true.
But if you can find,
or maybe they don't know what sexy is.
Well,
the alien male gaze is probably as bad as the human male gaze.
Yeah, that's probably true. If you can find a sexy 70s lady alien cop from space, you put her on the case.
So I'm picturing kind of like a very butch, like stud kind of lady, and that's what I'm finding sexy. So like I'm not looking at it through the male gaze. The male gaze is like a big booby. Like I'm picturing something else. So
fair.
Anyways, we'll get into that on a Patreon. Yes. We'll put her on the case. Yes.
So my favorite case is the case of Dale. I don't know how to say this man's last name. I'm gonna do my best. Dale Stelling.
Stelling. STEHLING.
Stelling. Okay, so this man, he was 51 years old. He was like an avid outdoorsman and like went camping all the time. Like very much the type of person who usually goes missing in these cases, but it doesn't make any sense because he spends all his time outside. So basically, this man and his wife went on like a little vacation, and they went camping and hiking and all these places. Couldn't tell you why I didn't do this, but I did not write down where they went hiking. But I know it was in like Arizona.
Oh God, so hot.
Yeah, or it was either Arizona or New Mexico. So basically, this 51-year-old man kind of in the middle of the morning, like goes to go on this hike by himself. And where they were, the path that he went down was only about a quarter mile long. And then it looped back around. But
your burps are so much better than mine.
Dude, I burp so much. I can't help it.
If I burp that, like if mine's that good, it'll barf. It'll barf.
Yeah.
I can't get that satisfaction.
I'm sorry. Anyway, so the hike that he went on was only about a quarter mile long. He went by himself. He left his wife. He told her exactly where he was going, and took off without her. And so there was another family on this trail as well that did see him and stopped to talk to him for like a very long time. He was like very okay. The hike should have taken about an hour and a half at most. So he didn't bring any food and water with him, which I will say is a rookie mistake for somebody who's an avid outdoorsman. I feel like he should have known better, but whatever.
Yeah, at least
and,
have like a protein bar or whatever.
Yeah, and like a little mini water or something. Anyway, so basically, almost immediately after being seen by this other family and like talking to them, he vanishes completely. No trace of him at all, literally nothing. They tried to ping his cell phone because he brought his phone in his wallet with him. They tried to ping his cell phone after he disappeared, after they realized that he was missing, which was about 2 or so hours after this family had last seen him, because his wife was like, he definitely should have been back by now. I don't know where he is. Reported him as missing, and they started looking for him. So they pinged his cell phone. Nothing. They got nothing on that. It didn't ping off of any towers or anything, which was weird because all of their cell phones were able to ping off of the towers near them. And his cell phone was showing that it was on.
It would have to be in like a Faraday cage. That's not how, like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Yeah. So his phone was unresponsive.
What year was this again?
2013.
Okay, so this was like modern phones. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so it's like modern phones. So his phone was unresponsive completely. And they like literally could not get anything about his location at all. So immediately after that, they kind of set up this whole search party that went on for at least 2 weeks. That included 60 search and rescue officers, helicopters, dogs, and rock climbers scaling all of the cliffs around this trail to try to find this man. And so for 2 weeks, like that intensive a search went on. But then after that, because he was still considered a missing person, employees of the park were notified, in changing of shifts, like if they had found him, and if there were any updates. And for the next, I think 7 years or so, they would keep an eye out for evidence about him while in the park, because they didn't find anything. And they searched, hundreds of square feet of this area of where he could have possibly gone, and found nothing. So then in 2020, his remains were found only 5 miles from where he disappeared, in a spot that was previously searched very thoroughly in 2013.
It's fucking
always. It's literally right
always
there.
Where they just searched.
Yeah. Well, and it was one of the spots that was searched most thoroughly in 2013 because it was a little bit more on the treacherous side, and it was so close to where 5 miles it's nothing to sneeze about, but it is relatively close. And if you're lost and you just start walking in a direction, that's a reasonable amount of distance to go. So within that search period, they looked at this one specific spot enough to confirm that he was not there. And they found his phone, his wallet, his keys, remnants of his clothes, all of his skeleton. It was all wicked fucked. Yeah, it's crazy. There's also
that aspect of it, it's they're fucking with them on purpose.
Yeah.
At that point, putting it where they've already looked, it's what are you trying to do? It really that's some trickster god
maybe
shit.
That's what I'd fucking ask the aliens. Why you guys do that? What's up with that?
Why did
I wonder if maybe it's they don't really want it to be found.
Yeah, they're oh, we thought you wouldn't look there again.
Yeah, so it's
when you lose something in your house. Have you ever lost something and you goddamn motherfucking know that it was right there?
Yep.
You know it was because you saw it.
And then it's
not there anymore. No, I'll have it be back in the same goddamn place.
The house goblins are fucking with you.
I've had it happen so many times. I hate the house goblins. I love them, hate them. So I actually am having this right now because Jeff from Strangeology won my raffle thing. I can't say raffle. My spin the wheel giveaway that we were doing for Jeremiah's thing. And I made him this fucking sick toad. I made him a Hill Snally shirt. I had it on my creepy table with my Ouija board. You know which table I'm talking about. Out of there. Yep. I know it was there. I looked at it every day. I go to put it in the... It's not there. I have searched my whole fucking house. I have no idea where it went. I have to remake it, which is fine. But I'm if it ends up back there, I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I have that literally all the time. But you know what's funny is like one of the things that and this is like this just goes back to like, you know, European folklore, but you've got Brunies that are known to like clean up your house after you and misplace your things if they don't feel respected and appreciated for cleaning. And you know what's funny about that is that they don't like cats. They don't fuck with cats at all. Yes.
Cats eat them.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't like cats, and they are known to, first of all, not clean households that have cats in them, but
they're not cleaning my house. I promise.
Yeah, they're not cleaning my house either.
So much dust.
Because we have cats. But not only that, but like our stuff will go missing and show up somewhere that we've been looking for days, very suddenly. And that's like one of the aspects of their behavior.
This is interdimensional people shit. I don't.
Oh yeah.
Like. I don't know, man. I don't know what they want from me. I'm not gonna get. Okay, this is another thing. I've told you about the weird things where animals appear in our house?
Yes.
Okay, so it's happened to me and Noah ever since we got together. Like one time, this was in Texas in the summer, everything was closed. We did not have a fucking window open. There was a bird under our bed, just under there, just sitting there. And we were like, what in the actual fuck? Then, recently in our house, there was just a deer standing in the kitchen.
You told me about that.
But that was because I left the door open. So this week there was one sparrow in our library, which you know where that room is because you slept in there. It's very hard to get there. It was just sitting there like
just vibing.
So like I helped it get outside. Like I was like, open the window because I'm not trying to fuck with any birds. Like if a bee gets in my house, I trap it and get it outside. I'm not trying to hurt any bugs, birds, nobody.
Yeah.
So we get it outside and I was like, that was weird. 2 hours later, another sparrow.
Interesting.
Same room.
I wonder if they have like a nest in the wall or something.
I don't know. It's really freaking me out. But then I'm like, is that some message from like the Brunies or the Fae or like the house goblins of like trying to tell me something that I'm not understanding? Because like Fae will send animals, right?
Yeah, I keep finding very weird creatures. I found a super big frog. I don't know if you saw my Instagram story. I found a giant frog a couple weeks ago. I'll send you a picture of him. He was fucking huge. And I was like, this frog, he hopped up next to me and was just sitting there for a while. And I was like, you look like you're about to ask me if I want to do a side quest. Like for fucking sure. And then the other day I saw the tiniest little baby praying mantis, literally about that big. So fucking small.
That's so cute.
Crawling over me. I see like, I'll just be walking down the parking lot and I'll see like foxes running. And it's just like, I also live next to a swamp and like in a wooded area. So it's not totally unusual, but like that close to people, I'm like, it's kind of fucking weird. And like they hop up on our back porch all the time and only our porch. I have been
they know you're friendly. I think it's because they know you're friendly. I think animals can tell like who's going to help them and who's not if something.
And we also leave our offerings out for the beings in the woods too. So I wonder if maybe that's recognized as like, oh, they're cool.
Like you're cool.
Yeah.
I think that might be. So we had another thing where a crow got in the back of the car that had been locked all day. Noah was driving and then he looked in the back seat and there's just a crow sitting there and I was like, we're all gonna die. Like I was so fucking freaked out. It was literally just sitting there. No, like not upset, just like
vibing
here. Like we have weird animals, like really weird animal shit happen to us all the time.
Interesting.
And I don't really know what to do about it. Like I'm just kind of, they're not hurting anybody. Like they're fine. It's just weird. The bird shit, like it scares me because like birds are very unpredictable.
You're like a modern day Cinderella.
No. Because they're not helping me with anything.
Well, that's why I said modern
I'm the stepmom of that story. In the
Am I Cinderella?
With the cat. Energy. I like that. I always thought she definitely killed the dad for money. So
yeah, probably.
I'm fine with her.
For sure.
She did what she had to do. She could have been nicer to Cinderella, but like she's we don't know what she's been through.
I feel like we should probably start wrapping up.
Okay. Do you have any more of your story? I got us very sidetracked.
I don't remember what I was talking about, so no.
his remains were found in a place they had already searched.
Yeah, that was the end of it. They found him in 2020, so 7 years after he went
Fucking hate
missing.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, not for nothing, like they were all on alert about the fact that this man was still missing in the park. So like that spot was looked at in so it's just scary. It's crazy. It's fucking weird.
I need to give you, I have like a secret list of things that I'll do to communicate with people after I'm dead, like really specific signs that like I don't want made public. I need to give you a copy of that because like it's in my time capsule and like my older kid has a copy so that like if I go missing, like I need like certain ways I'm gonna tell you. Like
I feel like realistically, Sarah, if you went missing, I would feel it immediately. Like you and I ride the same wavelength all the time. And like I really feel like if something happened to you, I would immediately be like, something's wrong. And I would just be able to use my intuition to just like figure out where you are.
Yes, I think so. And then like the fairies would be like, we're just not.
I'll say
like,
no.
I already know what I would do to annoy them.
Give me my damn friend
I would
back.
tell them the plot of every Twilight movie. I'll go through the whole plot. And they'll just, like, they won't even make it through New Moon.
Yeah.
Fucking go. Jesus.
I was explaining.
Hey, Loca. Where have you been, Loca?
Ella, where the hell you been, Loca? I was explaining the plot of Pretty Little Liars to Sid earlier, and they were like, oh my God. And I was like, it's so much, dude. And I'm like, that's going to be my thing. I'm going to explain the plot of Pretty Little Liars to somebody, and they're going to be like, I'm done with you. You're so fucking annoying. And then they're going to let me go.
Yeah, they'll be like, just please stop.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. Everyone, it has been so wonderful. The response we've gotten from people from this podcast has been great. And we are definitely going to keep doing it. We're just going to take a little break. To plan some things, but season 1, it's been chaotic. The recording quality has not always been great.
That's fine.
I'm hoping that season 2, I get it together a little more, and that we will be able to do some special guests.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much
for
sticking around with us for like 2 months or something, or like 3 because we took some breaks.
I know, and
we're bad at time management.
Yes, and for helping with like our merch fundraiser and our Patreon and all that stuff. Like we're still working on the merch fundraiser, but like the giveaway stuff is seriously like the Hail Snally shirt is only going to be for sale at events and very, very limited run. So that's like, you're getting literally the first one ever made of that like particular like black on red. Like I've made a few test prints of it, but I haven't made any black on red. So like you'd be getting the only one ever made of that, like, or the first one, whatever. So it's a lot of like really fun stuff that you can't get anywhere else. And then like 2 packs of MetaZoo cards. So I'll have 2 winners for that. And those things go for like a couple $100 on eBay right now. So like join our, giveaway, do our GoFundMe, please, because we really need the money to get Kinsey to events because she needs to drive all the way from goddamn New Hampshire and be like front the money for merch. So, and it's going to be awesome merch. It's going to be so fucking cute.
It's very good.
Check our stuff out, join our giveaway, follow us, all the things. And big thank you to Kryptonaut for giving us a shout out. And I hope you guys actually listen to this episode. Precious Angels, although if they were going to listen to any episode, I don't know, like I feel like the Puckwudgie one is the best.
The
ghost part.
At this point, I feel like all of them are great, but if you can make it to the end of any of our episodes, if you can listen to any of our episodes all the way through, you deserve a fucking prize.
Yes, you do. A big prize, because it's a lot of us talking about nonsense.
This is like a whole section on alien dicks today.
Alien dicks. All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you next season.
Bye.
Bye.